Hello everybody, welcome to my first ever F1 2020 My Team Career Mode. We want to do one of these for a while, now here's my chance. Today we're going to go over the preseason, how I made the team, and how the schedule is going to look, and the amazing livery that I think you guys will enjoy. This being a new channel, if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, and if you like my content that I'll be producing in the future, please subscribe. Also, if you have any comments about how I can make this team mode better and how I can design my team better, please leave a comment down below. And without further ado, let's get into this exciting My Team Career Mode. Alright, time to design our character. This is my first character that I'll be designing for this series, first ever series, so it's gotta look great, gotta be great. I've already designed two previous characters, two for my team career mode, and one for my regular career mode that most people forget about anyway. Alright, first things first with the designing our character is designing our helmets. I wanted to go for more a simple design, and as you all saw in my previous one I used a warp design. But this one I want to be a bit simpler, a bit easier to understand, a bit easier to see our team colors. In this case our team colors would be white and blue, blue being the channel's color and white being more of a complement to that color and a simplistic style to it. For this helmet, for this season I chose sunrise. It's a good mix if you want to blend colors together, but in this case I like the blue outline in the front of the helmet, and I think it looks good with the rest of the suit, which you'll soon see. Moving on from the helmet, which as you can see I think looks beautiful with the nice blue and accents of white. Moving on to the suit, I think the best way to go would be either a divided or more of a dashed design. In this case, whichever one we're going to see our sponsors better. For our suit for this season, we're going to go with a dashed design. I think this will make the suit look good with the livery, and I think it will complement the helmet very well. Moving on from the suit and the gloves also being a dash design just like the suit. The character pose I'm going to go with is just crossed arm, normal pose. My podium emote is a bit different, something I got from the podium pass, and just something simple to use. Now to move on to the team name, this is a bit easier. I'm gonna do a big homie racing sponsor F1 team. So BHR, whatever title sponsor we pick, then F1 team. Speaking of title sponsor, let's move on to pick our main title sponsor. The best one to pick is Pacifico, with 25 constructor points being the goal. I don't think we're going to get that far yet, and I don't think we're going to do that well in our first season. The one I was going to go for is Shark, with only 5 constructor points in the whole season, and with a pretty good signing bonus, and respectable weekly income. But then looking back, you can see Distort, TriStar, they have much higher goal bonuses, much higher weekly income, and just a little bit less signing bonus, but that could be made up with weekly income and goal bonus either way. Moving on to the power unit, the engine we have behind our back while we're racing, we have Ferrari, Mercedes, Renault, and Honda. I think Ferrari is a bit of a sham, but in this case we're gonna go for either Honda or Renault. Mercedes and Ferrari, we can get those later on depending how the team moves throughout the season or next season. But for this season first, we're gonna probably go with Renault with about the good middle ground between performance and durability with a respectable price cost. Moving on to our teammate select, we have many selection of teammates, including the legend that is Mahavir Raghunathan, or the soon-to-be legend Nikita Mazepin, or maybe he's already a legend at this point. But in this case, the first teammate I wanted to look for was Mick Schumacher. Throughout all the rest of my team modes, Mick was the only one that I knew had the best overall with the cheapest price. With Nikita Mazepin in this case, you can see he has a 60 overall rating with a cost of just 1 million. In this case, that's a lot for his overall rating. But in this, what I wanted was Mick Schumacher because of his bargain, the 63 overall rating and the cheap price of 1 million. But to my surprise, he was not there. So the first teammate I want to look for was next team I want to look for was either Jack Aiken or in this case Kyle Milot. They're both on here. They're both good teammates, but in this case Jack Aiken has 34 experience, with Kyle Milot only having 3 lower than that. But Callum does have a higher race pace and a bit better pace overall, but with Jack having better awareness. In this case, from previous My Team episodes that I've seen other content creators do, I knew that Jack Aiken could deliver if we just build him up and train him the right way. So in this case, I want to go with Jack. Jack seemed the best choice, and hopefully he'll be a great teammate. And we'll see during the middle of the season. We'll see if he improves. We'll see if he grows with the team, if he drives well, and hopefully we can get some good points to at least get that goal bonus with TriStar. But looking at our teammate, I figured we need a bigger signing bonus. We need more money to improve all of our departments later on in the season. So I had to make the final decision to lower our power unit and go for Honda instead of Renault. Honda with a respectable engine, even though it's the lowest on the grid, we can build it up. We may have the pace of the other engines, but we can grow with the engine, we can improve later on. Alright, that being the final thing to do, now it's time to change our team name, since we are supposed to have the sponsor in the name itself. So officially our teammate's going to be BHR TriStar F1 Team. Doesn't roll off the tongue, doesn't really make sense in this case. But maybe in the next F1 game, F1 2021, we'll have actual real sponsors. The odds of that are somewhat low. Maybe it's a bit higher though. Just with EA Sports being involved now with the new game, maybe we'll get a few extra sponsors, a few new sponsors to the game. Moving on, just looking at the overall of our team details, we can see we have a great teammate, Jack Aiken. We have a respectable Honda power unit and a good sponsor, TriStar, to back us up. Next is our track calendar. I did not want Vietnam. That's a horrible track. I'll be spinning all over the place. I was debating with Zandvoort. It's a decent track. I mean, it's a good track for racing. It's just not my favorite. I'm not good at it. But a track I did want was Azerbaijan. That's a great track to me. One of the select few city tracks I like. But as you can see, I got rid of Russia because that's not really a good track. That's not a track that I would like to race at. I don't think that's an exciting track for you guys. So instead I replaced it with Singapore, but I needed one more track to get rid of in order to get Azerbaijan. I was going to choose USA or Mexico. Abu Dhabi is already out of the contention for that, but USA kind of has to stay. It's kind of already part of really the calendar almost every year except for 2020 obviously because of COVID. But in this case, Mexico was the second in this case on the chopping block and had to go. Getting rid of Mexico and adding in Azerbaijan, I think we have a great calendar on hands, a great season, and a fun one at that. Starting out Australia, which would be the next episode of course, but in this case, we're going to just go over how I'm going to build my team, and we'll see what's next.
Okay, we're live in 5, 4, 3.
Hello folks, and welcome to the HQ of Formula One's newest team. We've been invited backstage to gain an exclusive insight into what could be one of the most exciting entries in the sport for many years. Now, we've seen a number of new teams enter the sport over the last decade, amongst their number Manor, Caterham, HRT, and of course Haas. And while some have proved to be successful, others have morphed into different teams, and some have disappeared completely. What marks this team out, though, as being something different is that its owner is also its driver. Now, there's a rich history of that in Formula One too. Sir Jack Brabham, John Surtees, Graham Hill, and Bruce McLaren all drove their own cars in the sport, but it has become increasingly rare in recent years. What's very special about this team, though, is that while the team itself is new to Formula One, so too is its driver and owner.
Whatever happens this season, you've already made the history books. Tell me, do you feel up to the mammoth task of both managing and driving for a Formula One team?
Of course, I want to pick something that'll boost my acclaim, so I went with, I won't lie, it's been a lot of work during the off season, but this is the moment we've been waiting for in order to burst into the limelight, in order to have confidence both in myself and my team.
Every team needs two drivers, but what was it that drew you to your teammates?
Nothing in the beginning. It wasn't my first choice, of course. It was my second one at that, maybe even third. But we saw what we could do on paper. We saw all the previous career modes. We see what Jack can do, and we have confidence that he'll do well.
No one aims to finish bottom of the table. Who's the team you're aiming to beat?
Well, from what I've heard, picking AlphaTauri allows you to get a boost in R&D points. That's not something I've tested yet, so might as well do it in this one. All the previous career modes I've picked Williams, and I start really low with Williams, so hopefully it's true that we'll be punching above hopefully our weight and be fighting close with AlphaTauri.
How are you expecting the car to feel out on track?
Horrible, horrendous, but of course that's not an answer on here. So, of course, one of the answers either affect our claim or just one of our R&D departments. In this case, I want to go for our aero department. We'll focus heavily on maximizing our traction out of corners, and hopefully that'll help us.
The other teams now have years of experience, both on and off the track. How are you planning to catch up to them?
Maybe a little boost in our Honda power unit. In this case, give our R&D department a bit of a better boost. Say that they developed something new with the ERS system, and hopefully that'll help our weak power unit.
Overtaking is a key part of this sport. How have you ensured that your car can take advantage of each opportunity that comes your way?
In this case, I want to give credit to our durability department. If you saw when we were picking power units, Honda again is one of the lowest on durability, so in this case I want to give credit to them.
And finally, which of your new departments are you most proud of?
We'll give credit to our power unit. Again, it's one of the weakest on the grid. We need to just motivate our team and give credit to them.
Well, that's about all we've got time for here. We will see how this fledgling team fares in its first Grand Prix.
Okay, great, thank you. That's a wrap.
Here we are in our headquarters. See our beautiful badge in the background, our beautiful team colors, and we're just ready to hit the road. We're ready to hit the track at this point. And first we're gonna go to the email, see what Carl has to say, see how everything's gonna set up, or hear how everything's gonna set up, and hear from Ruth. Ruth, we actually only see once, really, in the whole My Team mode in this email. It's a subtle detail, just having a name, having a person to interact with just in this one email, but it's a subtle detail that I appreciate. Moving on, next is we have our activity timeline, just motivating our aero and chassis department, just getting that morale up. Also, we gotta train Jack, give him that driver training in the driver training camp. And next is our R&D department, trying to figure out what exactly to upgrade. In this case, we're going to try to focus on either chassis or aero, since we already got a bit of upgrades from the earlier interview with Will. So in this case, we're going to just go for the central under tray and hopefully make the car a lot more nimble around the corners. Next, we're just gonna look around. As you can see with the engine department, we got the upgrade with the ERS, a bit of one ERS upgrade with the interview we did with Will. In terms of aero, we got 2 upgrades from the interview we did with Will, and I think we got 1 upgrade in durability also from that interview. No, we got 3 actually. So chassis at this point is really our weak point, but at the core foundation of it, our weak point is still going to be our Honda power unit. So as you can see here, we got big boosts in this case. We jumped 3 teams. We're close to AlphaTauri. At least we're gonna be close after these upgrades, and we're just almost there. We just gotta work throughout the season. Hopefully, we'll be able to fight a good fight in the midfield. Next is our car reveal. Hope you guys enjoy its livery as I did creating it. Oh, how beautiful she is. It's a beautiful car. Of course, when I first played my team, or first played F1 2020, I kind of wish they had more creative ability with the designs, just being able to maybe do how you do Forza, add different stripes, kind of add different templates, create your own maybe. But this is nice. This is nice. Just the simplicity of it. Just with the white on blue. These are going to be our main team colors. As you see, the sponsors are already on there. The main title sponsor, TriStar. As we get more sponsors on there, I think this car is going to start looking a bit more beautiful than it already is. Moving on next to our calendar, advancing the time, we have weekly resources, running costs, driver training camp for Jack. I'm excited to see what overall he's at. He was at 64. Hopefully he improves a bit. We'll get him close to 70. If he's close to 70, that would be a good result. I'm excited what he can do throughout the season. Of course, the first race being Australia. It's not a track that I'm particularly good at, but if I can get between 10th and 15th place and Jack is close to me, I think we made the right decision. Looking just at the departments, different departments, personnel, durability, etc. I always like these graphics they do, just a little simulation. Of course, that looks like a regular esports rig, or even worse than an esports rig with a $1 million car. But just looking around, we can improve, of course, but not at the moment because we don't have enough money. But right now we have 1 million. It's a good spot to be at. Of course, we saved money lowering from Renault to Honda, but we'll progress forward. I could afford 1 upgrade, but it's not needed at this point. So moving on to the contract, we can see Jack is 67 rated, up by 3. This is a major improvement to me. If we get close to 70 as the races progress through and he learns, that'll be a good spot to be at. I mean, the worst F1 rating right now, the worst driver rating. The lowest one is might be Giovinazzi. No, is it Latifi? Yes, it's Latifi at 69. So if we even get close to just a 70, if we get 70, we're already better. We made an F2 driver better than a F1 driver that was already in the game. With that would be a major stepping stone for Jack. So as you can see here, Mick is cost 1 million. His overall rating is 63. That's a bargain. I just wish we could have chosen him, but we'll have to stick with Jack. I'm confident in Jack. Mick might have done well, but I think Jack is gonna do maybe even better this season. Hopefully fulfill this speculation, this prediction, and hopefully this is all hope thing. Maybe we'll get even lower, maybe we'll come out P21 and 22, maybe I'm even behind them, but just hopefully we can get some good positions, start out this career mode well, and just do some great things with it. We have come to the end of this first My Team preseason video. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and please leave a comment down below if you just have any advice in this career mode. Just something that I can do to maybe mix it up a bit, maybe even shut down a few departments just to make it interesting, or maybe a better livery, maybe a better badge. I just want something to go with TriStar team. The badge looks like a star. So if you have any other badges that I maybe want to try, just leave a comment down in the description and I'll do my best. If you want to see future content that I'll be creating, please subscribe and ring the bell, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.